This is Travel Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, we present you with another incredible destination. Today, we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Malaysia. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get informed. Hello, Aluxers. Welcome back to Travel Tuesdays. This time, it's all about Malaysia, the ultimate country to visit in your Southeast Asia tour. Malaysia is different than most countries in Asia. They have the mainland and part of the Borneo Island they share with Indonesia and Brunei. It's the place to go if you want to find tranquility, biodiversity, and peace of mind. Of course, ultra-modern cities and quick access to Singapore is a nice touch, but there's more to it. With a population of over 32 million citizens, Malaysia is home to a lot of ethnic groups and wildlife. A lot of parts still carry traces of imperial colonialists, but at heart, their culture and ancestors are among the oldest and most important in the entire region. As an emerging economy, we're going to dig in and see what secrets and beauty lies beneath all these traditions and myths, because there's always more than meets the eye. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. Number 1. They have the slowest and most expensive internet in the world. In 2018, you would expect technology to be present in every corner of the world. And if we're talking about Malaysia, a country with such modern cities and an emerging economy, you would expect it to have decent internet speed. Well, it doesn't. If you're planning on going there and working from a cafe, just forget it. They definitely don't do that, and the internet is either non-existent or very slow. What's even more sad is they pay a lot of money for that poor internet. It's around 8.9 megabits a second, worse than the internet in Thailand or Sri Lanka. Number 2. The most hyped bar has a luxurious bathroom as the entrance lounge. Not everything in Southeast Asia has tropical and exotic vibes. They too have been getting the new powder pink and luxury bathroom concept and have implemented them into a new bar that everyone is hyping about. It's called the Golden Shower, and it's an Instagrammable dream come true. The bar has a lavish and beautiful golden bathroom at the entrance hall, making you wonder how it's going to look inside. Well, as you enter, the bar becomes a pink dream. It's minimalistic with pink and gold everything. The menu is also fancy and overpriced. It's definitely a millennial kind of place, where you can go take pictures of your food and, of course, bathroom selfies. Number 3. Jimmy Choo was born in Malaysia. There are a few luxury shoe designers that every woman wants to wear. Besides Manolo Blahnik and Christian Louboutin, there's one more designer that really understands what women want, and his name is Jimmy Choo. He's actually a Malaysian designer based in the UK that's now an international luxury brand. He skyrocketed to fame quickly after Vogue picked him up after London Fashion Week back in the 1980s, and then after Princess Diana of Wales endorsed his brand. Celebrities like Rihanna or Gigi Hadid love his designs, and although a pair of famous shoes is highly expensive, it's also an investment piece and a work of art. Number 4. They have a great healthcare system. Although Malaysia is not fully developed and modern in all areas, in the medical field, they're doing very well. In fact, it's a well-known destination for medical tourism. Over 1 million people travel to Malaysia to get surgery and other medical treatments. So, why do people travel all the way to Malaysia for healthcare? Well, because it's modern, cheap, and very effective. They even advertise this kind of tourism, and since they started accepting expats, over 5 million people have benefited from their services. They have private, award-winning hospitals that are happy to treat anyone for dental procedures or other treatments. Number 5. Robert Kwok is the richest man with a net worth of $13.1 billion. Asia has the highest number of billionaires in the world. The richest family in Malaysia, which is also one of the richest families in Asia, is the Kuok family. They've been in trade, estate, and oil for over 3 generations and have a net worth of $16.6 billion. The oldest son, Robert Kuok, now owns the Kuok Group, and with his net worth of $13.1 billion, is the richest man in Malaysia. Robert is now 95 years old, and his business is still going strong, in spite of his private life. One thing we know is that when he's gone, his fortune will be passed on to his 8 children. Number 6. There are lights in cinema rooms so that people can't fool around. We all know that Netflix and chill is slang for fooling around with a movie in the background. Some people even fool around in the cinemas because it's dark and no one can really see what you're up to. Well, not in Malaysia. They passed a law that forces cinemas to have some sort of dim lighting so people can't have sex or kiss in the theater. If you ever thought a Muslim country would allow such behavior, you're wrong. Thankfully, they don't have to keep the lights on when they're at home. Number 7. Their prime minister is involved in a $10 billion loan scandal. The story of this highly controversial scandal broke into the news 3 years ago when the Wall Street Journal exposed it. Since he was also the finance minister, he was able to leak around $700 million into his bank accounts. He and a few others from his cabinet were the authors of some well-orchestrated business regarding funds and Ponzi schemes. Some of the money from the deals and loans went straight to their Swiss bank accounts, and after the whole operation was unveiled, it looked like it required at least $10 billion to settle the loans and interest. This incident has gone down as the biggest corruption scandal of Malaysia so far. Number 8. Their airlines are very unsafe and controversial. At this point, airplanes are by far the safest way to travel. There are rarely accidents, it's very fast and quite comfortable. Some airlines are better than others. Some are very luxurious, and some, like the Malaysian airline, are sadly very controversial. Out of all the airlines in the world, theirs is the one getting shot down, crushed, disappearing, or encountering problems. Malaysian Airlines has so far lost over $500 million due to recent events, and they're still trying to recover and rebrand. If you plan on going to Malaysia, try Singapore Airlines. They are really amazing. Number 9. McDonald's has different products in Malaysia. If you traveled a little, you would know that most chains adapt their menus and recipes to local cultures and preferences. This applies to McDonald's, Starbucks, even Coca-Cola. They have different products in different regions. Well, in Asia, American fast food is not that popular, but it started to grow more and more on younger generations. McDonald's launched in Malaysia, and there they have a salted caramel and chocolate pie, and everyone goes crazy about it. It's so popular and tasty that the Brits want it in the UK as well. They say it's a delightful combination, and it definitely sounds like one. Number 10. The Petronas Towers cost $1.6 billion to build. The capital city of Kuala Lumpur is a state-of-the-art, ultra-modern, and cosmopolitan megacity. It's full of skyscrapers, parks, luxurious hotels, and infinity pools that will make you question its inspiration. It's like New York merged with Buddhist temples and palm trees. An iconic building you'll see in every picture is the Petronas Towers that cost over $1.6 billion to build. Up until 2004, it was the highest building in the world, rising at 452 meters high. It's still the tallest twin building in the world and one of the most photographed buildings in the world. Since it's so tall, you can basically spot it from every corner in the city. The towers are actually office buildings, shopping centers, and a major tourist attraction. Want a sneak peek inside Malaysia, Aluxers? We have a video on our channel all about Singapore, the small country inside Malaysia that is full of luxury, wealth, and crazy rules. Just click in the top right corner to check it out. Number 11. They might legalize medical marijuana. Drugs and Malaysia do not make a good combination. For traffic and consumption, you can get prison or even the death penalty here because they are a Muslim country with zero tolerance to such behaviors. As things evolve, it looks like they might change their laws a little bit. They're thinking about being more open-minded to legalizing medical marijuana, and if that happens, Malaysia will become the first country in Asia to allow this. It's a billion-dollar industry, and if they can get a pass on the rules and religious views, a lot of money can be made out of it. They still have a long way to go, but there is hope. Number 12. The main airport has a small jungle in it growing all the biodiversity of Malaysia. Some of the biggest airports in the world are huge ecosystems that are built to mimic the real world. They have accommodations, restaurants, shops, spas, lounges, transportation, even jungles inside of them. The main airport from Kuala Lumpur is a real work of art. To showcase all the diversity and wild beauty of Malaysian jungles, they installed a real-life jungle ecosystem inside of the airport. If you have a layover or a delayed flight, you can wander around the airport's jungle, take some pictures, even meditate. This is how airports look like in Asia. Way different and a lot less concerned about technology. Number 13. They don't have set elections. Every 4 or 5 years, each country re-elects their president or representatives. This process happens pretty much in all countries where a president, chancellor, or prime minister is the main authority or representative for the nation. In Malaysia, the prime minister can decide when elections are held because he has the power to dissolve the parliament and have an early election. Most nations have a special date and month set for it, but not in Malaysia. They do, however, re-elect the ruling party every 5 years and have been voting for that same party since 1957. Number 14. Durian fruit is forbidden in some hotels. Asia has the best climate for so many exotic fruits and species. Countries like India, Vietnam, or Malaysia are home to some of the weirdest and most flavorful fruits in the world. From mangoes, papayas, dragon fruit, rambutan, or durian, you can find them all fresh and cheap at the local markets. By far the weirdest fruit is the durian fruit. If you haven't been to Asia, then maybe look it up at your local Asian market. It's a green, spiky fruit with a yellow core that has a very pungent and strong scent. The aroma is also weird and not suited for most people, and that's why the fruit is forbidden in some hotels, so that people don't get a stinky fruit plate. Number 15. Every 20 days, there's a public holiday in Malaysia. If you work in America or China, you don't actually experience bank holidays. But if you happen to work in Europe or Asia, then you're in for around 20 days per year of public holidays and off days. Malaysia has roughly 50 days of public holidays, meaning that there's around 3 to 5 public holidays per month. Its lucky citizens don't ever work more than 2 weeks without getting a day off. And if they happen to also get the weekend off, then we're really starting to get jealous over here. As you can see, Aluxers, Malaysia is such a diverse and different country. It's somehow similar to its Southeast Asian sisters, but also different and more conservative. For what it's worth, you should definitely visit if you have the chance, but be sure to do your research first. Now, before we wrap it up, we're curious. How many public holidays do you get in your country? Are you even close to Malaysia or the US? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, for a treat for our true Aluxers for sticking with us all the way to the end, here's your bonus. Number 16. According to a conspiracy theory, Tupac Shakur is alive and well in Malaysia. When famous people die, conspiracy theories usually start to flow everywhere, especially if their death is controversial. Some crazy conspiracy theorists believe that Tupac, Kurt Cobain, and other stars live a happy life somewhere in Malaysia. It's amazing why people think they chose this country, and the way they framed everything to look like a plausible scenario. Of course, they have their fans and their haters, but unfortunately, these theories are nonsense. Our dear stars don't live a separate life on a deserted island. They are unfortunately just no longer with us. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want more, we handpicked these videos you might enjoy, or head over to Alux.com for the best in fine living content on the planet. Be a part of the largest community of luxury enthusiasts in the world and tell your story.